What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a video over Snapchat. As you can see, today it's down almost 9%. Past week it's down a little over 20%. In the past month it's down almost 30%. This is just too low for me. I think it's way too undervalued. Um, that's kind of what I'm having this video for, is to kind of give you guys the background on the Snapchat business, and kind of then you can make your own decision. I think it has at this price super high potential, um, but I think this might be one of the most undervalued stocks in all of tech right now. Um, they have earnings. I believe it's tomorrow after hours, so that'll be obviously a big earnings. Um, if you like value and growth plays, smash that like button and let's jump in. So some key user metrics from last reported earnings. They have 477 million daily active users. That's up 8% year over year. And 943 million monthly active users. That's up 7% as well. The international growth for Snapchat is crushing it. That's kind of where the next wave of monetization lives. So obviously that's a big deal. Then some of the revenue breakdown. 90% comes from advertising, and then also Snapchat Plus. That's a fast growing and already has 17 million paid subs last quarter, which is up 35% year over year. I guess that's kind of for the revenue part. The financials, what the numbers actually show is, and this is again from last earnings, but the revenue is 1.5 billion. That's up 10% year over year. That was a beat. And then also adjusted EBITDA, that is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. That was 182 million. That's a 12% margin. That's also a big improvement. The earnings report from the quarter four, so that was back in November. The revenue was 1.68 billion to 1.71 billion. That's a 8 to 10% year over year return. Consensus for the full year 2025 is 5.9 billion. For 2026, it's expected 6.8 billion. Still mid-teens growth kind of expected in there. Snapchat Plus alone could be 1 billion plus revenue in the next 12 to 18 months at current trajectory, almost pure profit. Operating leverage is finally kicking in. They've been ruthless on cost the last 2 years, and margins are expanding. This is not the money burning Snap of 2021 to 2022 anymore. So again, I could see it jumping up. It's crazy that it's even lower than what it was in 2021, 2022. Kind of the valuation. Why is 620 so absurdly cheap? Why do I keep saying that? The market cap, 10.6 billion. The enterprise value is 13.6 billion. Forward PS 2025, which you might not know exactly what this is, but a little later it'll make more sense. Is 1.8 times. Forward PS to 2026 is 1.6 times. Compared to some other peers, Meta, 7 to 8 times sales. Pinterest, 5 to 6 times. Even smaller social names trade for 4 to 6 times. Snap is growing users, diversifying revenue, and expanding margins at 1 to 6 to 1 to 8 times sales. That's liquidation pricing. So you're talking 1 to 6 to 1 to 8 times sales versus some even smaller social names that are trading for 4 to 6 times. That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. To kind of give you a different opinion other than mine, some analyst consensus, average 12-month price target is 950 to 1060. Some as high as 13 to 16. That's a 55 to 70% upside from here. So if that kind of doesn't show you how undervalued it is right now, and it's not just me saying it, it's obviously analysts who do this every single day. They even see it as a 950 to 1060 stock. And honestly, long term, I could see it being a $15 to $20 stock. Um, but short term, I think it could easily go up to $9 in the next 3 months. I do want to tell you the bull case, kind of why Snapchat can 2 to 3 times in 2 to 3 years. Snapchat Plus could be a 2 billion plus high margin business by 2028. And kind of to go back to the EBITDA, which again that's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. Um, if they hit 15 to 20% margins long term, which is very doable, that's not a crazy number by any means. This thing is worth 20 billion to 25 billion plus enterprise value. That's $12 to $15 per share. And that's just in a base case. Bull case, obviously, if you want, that's almost $20+ per share. I mean, I don't know how you can't sit here and say, yeah, okay, $6, that's too cheap. We got to capitalize on this. This is a moneymaker, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, I think a lot of people might be scared because it's so low, but that's kind of what you got to do as an investor. You got to buy when people are scared and when the market's down, because that's when you can get these great prices, and that's how you can make a lot of money. Um, Obviously, we always want to be as careful as possible. So in this case, if you bought in now, you could sell a 650 call and essentially get premium for that. You're basically getting paid to say you would sell at 650. So if it ends above 650 at your expiration date, then you would get paid for that. And so then it lowers your break even lower. And so it can help reduce risk, which I have right now. And so I'm not saying just go out there and be as aggressive as possible, but my whole point of this video is to kind of show how undervalued Snapchat is and that the business hasn't changed. Like last earnings were phenomenal. It jumped up all the way above $9. Well, then why did it jump down to back to 6? Because people are scared and people are and the market's down. That's how you kind of take advantage of stuff like this right now is when it's down, reduce your risk by selling calls or some of that stuff, but you got to jump on these opportunities because not too many times do these actually happen, because in 3 months, 4 months, it could be sitting at $10 and you just lost the opportunity. Along that same line, some of the risks, North America monetization is still kind of sluggish. Obviously, you still have that competition from TikTok, Instagram Reels, Meta AI, and then it's also not, Snapchat isn't profitable yet. It gets in a lot of revenue, but it also spends a lot from, I don't know, different stuff like advertising and they're trying to grow, so they're spending as much money to grow. Kind of my valuation final take, kind of my long term base case. So let's say, I don't know, 1 to 3 years, I could see it being at, or say we'll say 2 to 3 years, $12 to $14. But the bull case, I mean, well, let's say in 3 years, I could see it at $18 to $20 plus. That's a pretty crazy upside for what it's at right now. And at 605, that is right now, the risk reward is heavily skewed to the upside. I mean, you can't, yeah, I could see it maybe dropping down to 550 if it has bad earnings. But guys, at some point, it's gonna have a floor. It's so low. Like in the past 3 months, it's down 22%. It was all the way up to almost $9 back in January 6th. So you're telling me in about a month, the business changed that much that it dropped from almost $9 all the way down to $6? I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. This is not the most safe stock, obviously, because it's a smaller stock, and so it's not as much of a stable stock. It does move quite a bit, but that's also why you can make quite a bit of money. So typically, this is like my one stock that, yes, it's at $6, but I think we can all see Snapchat. It's everywhere. The app is everywhere. A lot of people use it, and they're going to be able to make money off those with all their users. Tomorrow for earnings, Definitely going to be very important. I'm going to be watching it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video over the earnings. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you buying the dip before earnings or waiting? If you got value from this, hit the like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Have a great day.